getting old ain't fair, you know.
Really?
It's always, it should be, because, you know, I just got through working with this. It should be right here, and it ain't never there. And, you know, and when you get to a certain age, it's just not going to be there. You know, it's just not right.
Well, I know yesterday I had a classic, no, Saturday I had a classic example of that. I was looking for a particular package of worms, and I opened the compartment, and I was standing there, and I'm thinking, now I just had them. I got one out of the bag, and I dropped it back in here. Where is it? And I looked and looked and looked, and finally there it is, right on top of the pile, right in the center.
That does suck.
I thought, oh Lord.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been working on our equipment to record the shell. We're gonna record shell beds. Gonna try to.
Okay, Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's gonna be a clear day for that?
Well, they're showing it's going to be.
Okay.
You know.
Well, what I was looking at some of the ways to video underwater like that, and it's best if you got, you know, good lighting, you know, and we'll try it and see what comes up.
Well, we'll look at the forecast here in a little while, see what it calls for. But
yeah, let's just go ahead and pull that
okay.
up. So, isolated thunderstorms, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be.
And it's 30% too.
Yeah.
And they've been in the afternoon, so you know.
Another thing is, you know, water flow. If you got a lot of water flow coming down through there, that bottom's going to be kind of stirred up, maybe, you think? Okay. That sounds like
not
a
in
winner.
the second place. That first place way back up in Little Caney probably has a little flow through it. But
Yeah. Okay. Well, sounds like a winner. We just plan on that. But I've got this. It's a long pole that extends out about 20 feet.
Okay.
And
well,
there's
more deep enough in either place.
Yeah. And there's two cameras on there. There's one that's an AccuView that you can what we can look at it. We can't record off it, but we can look and see what's down there. So we're not just recording blindly. Right. And then the other is the cameras that we're using, you know, for this. And it'll be on there. And I've actually got a little light that I'll have to show it here to you here in a minute. And got a light on it and everything. You turn the light on and you drop it down there, and we'll see what we come up with.
Sound like a winner.
So we've got a good plan anyway. It may not work. I don't know. We'll find out.
The plan and the equipment. We just need, like the guy on the tractor commercial says, with good equipment and skill in making it, all we need is a little wind. talking about a kite.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what we're doing. Probably.
We got everything. We just need a little cooperation.
Okay. This week is this is the
It's
LFA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can fish anywhere on the lake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Who's your partner this week? Do you know?
Jackie Price.
Jackie Price.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this before we get into that, I guess we already need to talk about what happened Thursday. I didn't see you didn't have the thing up when is it up now?
I put it up last night.
Let's just pull that sucker up and let's see.
June.
Should be right here, shouldn't it?
You know what I did? I didn't finish it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get that and we'll put it up.
Okay.
But,
Well,
anyway,
I finished fourth place and had big bass.
okay. Well, that's good. What size is it?
It was 18 and 5/8 inches long, and we got to the place where you and I fished again. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, in Little Canyon.
Yeah, no.
Or on the south side down there.
South side. And
This is the middle 1/3, kind of in the entrance to Cheney Creek.
yeah. We fished there for about 15, 20 minutes, and then I was going to move a little bit, and I just drug it, and when I did that, pow, fish hit it. And I thought it was probably bigger than that, but it was a nice, healthy fish.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe we're going to do good today. 'Cause you catch a big fish on your first cast. Well, it's not one first cast, but it was your big one for your first fish. That's that's a pretty good sign. Well, at 11 o'clock, I caught the second one.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then I guess 11:45, I caught the third one, which was the last one I caught.
Yeah.
So then.
That's funny how that worked, because when we pulled up there, you got two
boom, yeah.
pretty close,
And
then
that's
that
how
was it.
the next time I went in there, we caught 3 or 4, boom, boom, boom. You know,
Yeah.
Ken and I.
Now, what were you throwing on this thing?
French fry.
French fry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I've caught. Every fish I've caught in the past 2 weeks has been on a French fry.
Okay. This is watermelon or is this?
No. I bought $50 worth of watermelon colored baits, and haven't caught a fish on one. I'm gonna sell them to Ken.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ken will get them.
Yeah. Anyway, that's like one other time he fished with me, and he caught fish on watermelon orange brush hogs. Caught 4 or 5. Well, I had some, and I put them in the boat, and I've fished with them since, and nothing wants the watermelon orange.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, the fishing was tough for everybody Friday or Thursday.
Okay.
Excuse me. There was when an 18 5/8 is a big fish, that tells you there were 3 just about the same size.
Yeah.
I beat them out by like a 16th or an 1/8. The co-anglers had a terrible day. I wish we did have it published, because the co-anglers just didn't catch any fish. 1 or 2, and that was it.
Yeah.
So anyway, Thursday was gone. Friday Charlie came up and went fishing with me, and we found fish in Rogers Creek.
You wasn't fishing the tournament that day.
No, we were thinking about fishing at Texas Trails on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we went out pre-fishing, and we fished and we fished and we fished. We finally came to Rogers Creek, and bam, 4 fish, 4 casts. I thought, hey, look at this. We got something going on here. So we left and went to another place and caught fish, and I hadn't caught fish there in 2 years, and caught 2 or 3. So, but then it was quitting time, so we went in, and Charlie came back up, He got there at 15 till 5, and I was already hooked up and ready, so we went. About the time we got on the boat ramp, it started raining. That outflow boundary caught up to us, and it rained until 9 o'clock. And we didn't get a bite.
Oh.
Charlie, I take that back. Charlie did catch one. I had got one halfway to the boat, and that was it. And we moved off our primary spot, and these other guys that had been fishing up the bank, and they came out, and as we were moving up, they zoomed in on there where we stopped, and we sat there and watched them catch 4 or 5. Well, that's what happens when you move from the good spot. It bites you in the every time.
Huh.
But we left there, and we went to the other place where I hadn't caught any fish in 2 or 3 years, and that's where I caught 6 keepers. I caught 1 slot fish. Charlie caught 3 or 4 keepers and 1 really nice slot fish. And we went to weigh in. Had to have 7 pounds. I had 6. But I whacked them on the drawings. The door prizes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I won.
What'd you win?
Skeet Reese spinning combo, a drop shot type thing. I won a custom angle lures rod, which I promptly traded for something else because I didn't need that, but I needed the other one. And the guy that had the one I wanted he asked me if I'd swap, and I said sure. And I won 3 others.
Really?
Yeah, Charlie had to help me carry all the stuff, all the trudge. One of the swag, had to carry all the swag back in the truck. I got no use for any of it except that one rod I traded for. I'll use it for a Carolina rig rod because I've got 2 others that I use for Carolina rig rods. But anywho, we had fun.
Yeah. So do we have a tournament this weekend?
No,
we don't have anything coming up this weekend?
Thank goodness on July the 4th there's not one, but there quite frequently is. But
yeah. So anyway, back to the LFA this week. You're fishing with, you said Jackie Price?
Yeah.
And where you guys plan? What you plan? What do you plan on doing?
Probably start out down at the mouth of Cheney Creek, Cheney Branch.
Yeah.
Stay there a little while and then move up to the place where Charlie and I caught the fish. Because there seem to be bigger fish down at Cheney, and if we can catch a couple of those, and then we go up there and finish out our limit.
Yeah.
Be pretty good.
Okay. Sound like a winner.
Yeah. That's, got a plan. Whether or not it's any good, that's another
question.
Yeah.
All right. Sound like we got it. What else we got to do? Anything else?
Oh, something that we didn't talk. We talked about at some point in time, I don't remember when it was, to the people that don't use your map service, your subscription service.
Subscription service.
If you've been on Lake Fork lately, you've noticed that there are no more landmarks anymore.
Well, yeah.
Except on the bank. So if you don't have a way to use your GPS, if you don't know how to use it, you need to learn, and you need some GPS coordinates to put in, because a lot of the places I fish, humps and things like that, are now just out in open water, and I could not lately find them if it wasn't for the GPS, because there are no landmarks left. They're all blown down.
Well, it's been a long time since I've spent a lot of time on the lake.
Yeah.
And so I have to go back over and review a lot of that to try to remember how that went, and then actually go back and relearn those humps, because you're right, it's gone.
It's amazing how much it's changed just this year.
Yeah.
Because lots of them have been blown over, and the high water, they just rot off at the water line, and when the water starts dropping, they break off right there.
Right, yeah. And you hit them with your boat.
That's right. You start hitting them with your boats, but at least there's kind of soft initially.
Well, yeah.
It does soften them up, makes them kind of bushy, but
they've got some of those chips that you can buy. I don't know how reliable they are. You've got one, don't you, that you use? And is it fairly good?
It is surprisingly good. Yeah.
What's the name of it? Do you have a name for it, or that you use, or?
No, it's
not that we'll just give them a plug if you know.
Lake Fork guidelines, I think. They sell it at the Middle Bucket.
Yeah.
And it's simple to load, doesn't take just a few seconds. And it's got little flags that show, now they obviously got the SRA boat lanes marked, but they've got all the shortcuts that the guides use marked also. And the closer together the flags are, the slower you better go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you've got, it's got a boat lane that runs all the way from the mouth of Little Caney to the far back.
Yeah.
But from the marinas on back, the little flags are about that far apart. They're just stacked on top of each other.
Well, when I made the map, I shot all those buoys, so they're on there. But like when you and I went up in there to where was it? Up in Running Creek up there. There was a bunch of those buoys that
the buoys are way off in the woods.
They're not where they used to be.
That boat run that goes up to Running Creek, for those of you that ever use it, when you hit that first buoy where you make the turn to go north, if you look straight to the Running Creek Bridge, that's where the boat lane is. That's where the buoys were. The buoys are all bowed out here. Yeah. I mean, they're way out in the woods.
They really need to come in there and put those back where they were.
And that's true of all the boat lanes on the lake are that way. And I don't know that SRA's aware of it. I don't guess they've got any liability, because I'm sure it says follow at your own risk someplace. But,
I'm pretty sure I gave them coordinates to all those buoys when I made that map, and I would think they could go back out there, and if nothing else, you could take it off the map and at least reset them. Yeah. And those are fairly reliable where they were originally.
Yeah, they were right. When they first put them out, they were right in the dead middle of the boat lanes, because there was enough timber you could tell where the boat lanes were. Yeah. So. But I've seen them out there before resetting buoys, but I think hot dog, they're going to change whichever one, and I never do see.
Didn't do it,
yeah.
They probably should budget for that, really. I mean, somebody should, or get a grant to have, somebody come in there. I did a bunch up on Cooper Lake one time. I had to put some buoys in to mark the brush piles. They hired me to come in there and do those way back when I was doing all the soundings on all these lakes for Corps engineers, and that was pretty hairy the way I did that, because it was steel cable, and when you drop that sucker, you better not have your foot in the middle of that steel cable, because it's not going to be pleasant. It's really pretty dangerous. I probably shouldn't have done it, but I did it.
Have you a real heavy duty pair of leather gloves to
cut your leg, and a knife so you cut your leg off where you tied on that thing.
What kind of weight did they use?
It was big concrete weight, heavy as a dickens. It had to be 150, 200 pounds. When you chunked it over, it's gone.
And the cable goes.
Yeah, and hopefully it don't latch on your boat and take your boat down with it. You'd be bobbing there like Titanic.
Rip the side out of it.
Yeah, I was back in the stupid days that
Well, hey,
You know.
you live and learn. You're older and you're a little more careful now.
fortunately I did live through that. Yeah. I can remember some dangerous times on Pines up there during the midwinter when we was doing the soundings on that northern, where you go up the boat lane. They did all that dredging up there.
Yeah.
They had hired me to come out there to stake it out, and I looked out there and up on that north end of that park. There's a park up on that north end, close to that bridge there, on the south side of the bridge, and there was a guy camped out there, and ice was freezing on my front of my boat, and I was thinking, Lord have mercy. At least I'm getting paid to be out here.
Yeah.
This poor guy out here, he's got to be freezing to death. It was one of those pickup camper things I had on the back. I said, I found one guy that is crazier than me.
I never will forget, in that same area one time I was up there bass fishing, and I had heard about this, but there's some guys in Longview that have taken the gasoline heater out of a Volkswagen
Yeah.
and rigged it up in their boat, and they've got pieces of flex pipe that they run it. They put a quilt,
Wow.
little thunder,
Little thunder
put a quilt
there.
in their lap, and got that hot air blowing up under it. And the way you can tell what's going on is it's got a little smokestack, a piece of, looks like 2-inch
Lord.
pipe, and it's just a wisp of smoke
Yeah.
coming out. And I kept wondering, what on earth is that?
Yeah.
And somebody finally clued me in as to what it was. They were out there crappie fishing. They could.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was pretty slick.
I can remember some dangerous things that people probably didn't really pay that much attention to on the river. Like on the Red River, that thing came down there pretty fast.
Yeah.
They'd have those big barges parked out there that they may be doing some work on the river.
Mm-hmm.
If you were dumb enough to come in on the upside of the river and come right, you could be sucked right up underneath that barge. And there was one boy that I remember that died like that, and you're not thinking about it, you're on the river,
Yeah.
but it's there's some dangerous things that can happen.
Hurry.
So, so I mean, that's just something you got to watch out for. So, anyway,